Hi everyone, Joe here. Welcome to part 10 in my Christmas 2017 series. And today I'm here in the family room again, and I'm going to be working on the tree for here next to the mantle. This is a 9-foot slim line pencil tree. Now these skinny trees are really great if you want to stick something in a corner and you don't want it to be so obstructive and get in your way and whatnot. And they're really good if you live in an apartment as well, because they're really thin and they're not going to take up most of your room that you have to rearrange all of your furniture. So today what I'm going to do though is I am going to add extensions onto this tree just to bulk it up a little bit. And you see I have again pieces of garland that I spray painted white, and I put a little bit of flocking on them, and I'm going to add them onto the tree in such a fashion that it will just give the tree a little bit more bulk, and it also give it a little bit of flocked look without me actually having to flock it. So I'm going to start that, and I'll show you hopefully halfway through, unless I get carried away and I do the whole thing. Okay, so you see what I'm going to do is I have this piece right here. So I'm going to come in to the tree like this, right? And then I'm going to use the branches of the tree itself to intertwine this in so it adds to the tree. So see, so far I've done a few on the bottom. So you have to kind of work in a pattern that, you skip and then you come above the next layer and you fill in that space, and then you go back out kind of like a zigzag as you come back up. I'm not going to go crazy on the bottom because I'm stuffing the bottom of this tree with toys and things. So I'm not going to waste anything down there because it's just going to get hidden anyway. So I started a little bit higher and I'm moving my way up. Okay, so can you see the little bit of difference that it added? I mean, I could put a lot more in here, but I really don't want to. I just wanted a touch of this this little bit of white on the tree, and it just fills it in a little bit. And like I said, it's some kind of loose pattern that, it shouldn't be obvious, especially when the stuff is on it. But it just adds that other layer to the tree that is, that makes it look a little bit more fuller and special. Now there are white lights on this tree. Now I have to add in some red, because remember, this whole area here has a lot of red and white in it, so I want it to match that stuff too. So I'm going to get busy on that now. Alright, so the tree has about 800 white lights on it, and I put on 800 red lights. And what I also do here is I put them on separate switches so that you see now the tree is just all red. Now, I mean, it's really nice because you can have it in red and white, or you can have it just all red. And basically the reason I did that is, I'll tell you a quick story. We were having a party here once, and there must have been about 30 people here, and the house became so hot. It was about 90 degrees in the house, and we had to open the windows and everything, and this is, it was really cold outside. But because of all the lights in the house, I mean, just in the main tree alone, I think there's, maybe like 12,000 lights on that tree. The house became ridiculously hot. So what I did for most of the trees is I have them on two different, switches, so that I can, calm down the amount of heat that's going on in the house. Alright, so anyway, on to decorating this tree now, and the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put little presents on the tree that the elves are going to be popping out of. Alright, so I have to start sorting through all of this. There's a bunch of elves in there, and because these usually go in the foyer, but I'm changing that around. I'm doing a snow theme there, so that's why I'm using these guys on this tree this year. And I just have to figure this out. Okay, so I changed my mind, and I'm working on the topper, and I'll show you what I have done so far in a second. But I'm incorporating this ribbon from, on the top, and I want it cascading down from the top. I'm not going to go around the tree, or even, I don't think, through the whole tree. So what I do is I just kind of make two loops up on the top of this ribbon, and then I tie it off with the floral wire. And then what I'll do is I just place it in there. Okay, so I either use a light to attach it to, or a branch. So you see what I have is I have these elves up here that are kind of like playfully and whimsically placed, and then I'm hiding some of the junctures between the ribbon and the tree, and also some wires with these poinsettias. They're just like from the dollar store, and I cut that little bush that you get for $1 into a bunch of individual picks. All right, I'm going to continue with this. I keep saying I'm going to do those boxes with the elves popping out, and I keep forgetting what the next thing I have to do. So I'm working on these beads. I am putting beads on this tree. I know it's really old-fashioned and people don't like it anymore, but it picks up a lot of light. And for me, what I particularly like is I like to keep the same distance and the same size draping on each level of beads. So I set the, let me show you here, I set the draping, what I'm calling is this, from loop to loop, and that distance, and then I try to make every loop that distance and with that draping. Even down, as I go down further on the tree, I continue to do that because I know, like when I was a kid and I didn't really know what I was doing, or I was just learning what I was doing, by the time I got to the bottom of the tree, the beads had like a 4-foot spread on it, and that's what kind of makes them look like they get lost. I don't try to line them up from top to bottom, meaning every loop is underneath a loop, or every loop is between another loop, because that's really OCD, obsessive Christmas disorder, and I have it enough, so I just kind of want them to be the same size and the same distance, and I'll show you that as soon as I'm done. I finished the beads, and I placed these boxes on these little presents with the elves popping out. So you can see here, I have them kind of like, I tried to make them look all a little bit different, who's coming out head first, who's hanging out by their arms, and so on. This one is doing a split as she's coming out. This guy has his hands in the top of the box, and he's opening the box up. After I put the ornaments on, I'll probably add a few more elves hanging on by the hands. If you see, like this one down here, she's hanging off, it's two guys. He's hanging off of the other one, and so I'll do that. I'll try to make it a little bit more whimsical. All right, I'll be back with you. Now I'm gonna put on like the mantle, because the mantle is right there next to it, red, green, and gold. Okay, so I went ahead and I finished this tree, and actually all that's on this tree are those elves, and then I did a series of the green and the gold and lots of red balls. If you notice, I also have these drop ornaments which resemble the ones that are on the mantle. They're slightly different. These have no red in them, but it's the same exact design, so it's not matchy-matchy, but you have a similarity between the two, since the mantle is right next to the tree. And you see I added some poinsettias in there. Again, I just took a plant and I cut it up into picks, and I stuck them in there in open spots. So you see I'm starting to back up now so you can get a full view of the tree. And it's really old-fashioned looking. I haven't done a red and green and gold tree in a long time, and we're really enjoying it. We were looking at it this morning, and it's just an old-fashioned look that is really pleasing to us at the moment right now. So let me take a look. Let me show you what I did around the bottom. I got some boxes, and I wrapped the boxes with wrapping paper, and I put some tissue paper in there, and then a bunch of stuffed animals that we've been collecting. It looks like they're popping out of the boxes, like somebody opened up the boxes already, and all the animals and stuffed animals are popping out, and so on. And so it gives it that real old-fashioned kind of Christmas look. And then of course hopefully you've seen the mantle video. Look how pretty that looks next to each other. It really has a really old-fashioned look. It reminds me of my childhood. And down over here, sorry for that glare, Marianne just found those two characters from Frozen, and she likes that movie, and we incorporated those there with the poinsettias. And then over here, look, we have a family of elves, which we got at the Christmas tree shop. We have Papa Elf right there, and we have Mama Elf there, and we have brother and sister elf sitting right next to her. And I just added a little bit of greenery with some Christmas balls and poinsettias in there, just to give it, you know, that little bit of finishing touch. Cookie jar Santa. This set right here, this was my mother and father's. I'm missing 3 of them. I can't find them. There are 3 more cups, but these are older than me, and so they're old. And I thought it would be nice to put those out with this, since it's such a traditional look this year. And down here, 2 more. I guess those are like for tea, where you can cover them so the tea can steep in there. Then I just have a box. And then over here, I have this other really old-fashioned Santa with some greenery and some Christmas ornaments, and a box next to him. So here is a look from this angle. And like always, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, give me a thumbs up. If you just stumbled on me, please subscribe to my channel. I have a lot of holiday videos, and believe it or not, more to come, because I'm still in the midst of putting up a lot of different Christmas trees and whatnot. And drop me a line. You know, I love hearing from you guys out there, and I like to know what you think and so on. So today, let's see what I'm doing. I'm going to be working on the coffee table in here, and then eventually I'm going to get over to the Wizard of Oz section. Okay, everybody, so I hope everything's going well, and I'll be talking to you really soon. Bye-bye.